Good morning, Bulldogs. I'm Casey Doss.
And I'm Daffy Abojo.
Today is December 9th, 2015. Daffy, why is it called KAHS and not just AHS Broadcasting or something?
Well, see, on the west side of the Mississippi, news stations use the letter K, while on the east side, news stations use the letter W.
Wait, but why?
It is what it is.
It is what it is, Bulldogs. Rap battle?
Check it out.
Lame. How many of us read him? Shakespeare's Lame. He's the reason they made Spark Notes. Shakespeare's lame is the word I use to describe the writings of Shakespeare that I despise. I had to read all of his stuff, critique and analyze. I still don't see the reason that they canonize the man who wrote Macbeth and Merchant of Venice, Much Ado About Nothing, and Coriolanus made me read all of that scat when I was in school. Trust me when I tell you, man, Shakespeare's a fool. Romeo and Juliet were not star-crossed lovers, just a couple of teenagers trying to get their druthers. Oh, happy dagger, this is that sheath. I can't take no more. Give me some relief. Made me learn something about the Newton's laws. The net external force, it must be the cause. When something changes its velocity, it might be the friction or the gravity. Give me some equations, some mathematical relations. I can't take no more scholarly interpretations. Let me stick some big numbers in your calculator. You'll be saying, Othello, you're my numerator. We're going to study the science of physics. The reason that satellites stay there in orbit while iPhones with one click can take your self-portrait. Physics is the reason that all things fall down. The fun that you have on the merry-go-round. Centripetal forces of rides at the fair. Physics is the reason planes fly through the air. Moment of inertia is how hard it is to spin. So coefficient of friction is why things are so rough. Ballistic pendulums tell how fast a bullet goes. Thermal properties of fluids is why it snows. Electromagnetic fields make us see colors. It can all be explained with the use of numbers. I'd like to hear Shakespeare try to explain the rainbow. Refraction and Snell's law tell us why the light goes at different angles because of the wavelength. The lady doth protest too much. Methinks thou art like a toad, ugly and venomous, said Shakespeare, but who cares? Because we know that he is just lame. You don't need me to tell you Shakespeare's lame. He wrote so many dumb plays. Shakespeare's lame. He's the reason they made Spark Notes. Shakespeare's lame. How many of us read him? Shakespeare's lame.
There we go. John Cage could tell you how golden silence is, especially when you're dealing with the teachers of sciences. I read Keats and Shakespeare, that's Johnny and Bill, so to talk about physics makes me physically ill. See, I am a teacher of literature, so I teach about Poe pining for his lost Lenore, while your formulas and theorems make these poor kids snore and they leave your class even more bored than before. And now you think you can match me line for line? The comedy in that is so divine, because all the great thinkers reside in my mind, and I read the whole library one tome at a time. Matter of fact, I've been sitting back and writing fine rhymes since you were just a kid kissing your poster of Einstein. Now who you got that can compete with that? Your boy Schrodinger with his half-dead cat? Your boy Heisenberg, whose whole claim to fame is that he can't be certain and Walter White took his name? I'm not the type to tell anyone what their business is, but friends don't let friends turn into physicists. In my class, we investigate the human condition while you sit up there all day yawning and wishing that you picked a position with a bit more ambition instead of droning all day about fusion and fission. And now you think you can braid my razor wit? Son, don't you realize I was raised on lit? I've been this way since 9th grade with Mrs. Fellinger. Now I'm the champ, and you're the challenger. It's like Stephanie Meyer versus J.D. Salinger. I'm like Thackeray to your Dr. Gallinger. Room full of sleeves, take your pick. I'm Gatsby. J.K., I'm more of a Nick. And I'm equipped to quip from here clear to Hyperion, with a grasp of the language positively Faulknerian. And I'm prepared to keep on dropping the hammer, an iambic pentameter with superlative grammar. So stop flopping around and just stand still, son. I'm Dennis the Menace, to your Mr. Wilson. And right now you're thinking how scary this thing got as I grab words like gravel and take aim with my slingshot. My department's too far out of your reach. You're like Matthew Arnold stood on Dover Beach. You're like James stood up next to the giant peach and the mermaids are singing each to each while I'm up here screaming once more onto the breach. So bow down and listen to the king's speech. Now let me end this masterpiece that I just wrote, not with my own words, but a Shakespearean quote from The Winter's Tale, where Leontes says to his wife, "Physics is lame. ELA for life!"
All right, Bulldogs.
Have a great holiday break.
See you next year.